Hello everyone, my name is Adonis and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing my weekly love spread for all of my Sagittarius out there. So let's see what kind of love is coming towards my Sagittarius during the week of January 20th into the 25th. Let's get after it. Okay. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. 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 That's what kind of energy is coming towards my Sagittarius during the week of January 20th into the 25th. What kind of love is coming towards my Sagittarius during the week of January 20th to the 21st? Show me the cards that I need to see. Here we go. Here we go. Wow. Okay, so right from the very beginning, we have somebody that feels like their hands are tied behind their back. I feel like they're trapped in their particular situation here. Let's get some clarification on that. That's a very interesting card to start with. So let's see what's going on. Give me some clarification on this Eight of Swords. Why is this Eight of Swords here? Give me some clarification on this Eight of Swords. Why is this Eight of Swords here? Give me some clarification on this Eight of Swords. Why is this Eight of Swords here? Show me the cards that I need to see here. Okay. Okay, well, I know why. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So this Eight of Swords here is because there's been a lot of arguing and conflict going on with this individual. Okay, especially when it comes to in terms of competitors, other people that are interested in pursuing a relationship with you. This individual is feeling like their hands are tied behind their back because there's a lot of arguing, a lot of disputes. Not only was there arguing with your potential other people that were beginning to come into the picture, but also there was a lot of arguing between them and you. Okay, this is an individual that you have had a relationship with. Okay, and there was some sneaky behavior that was engaged in here. So there was some cheating that was done here. Okay, and this person is trying to turn things around, but it doesn't really appear like that's things are working according to plan, so to speak. There also was a sense of removal of a burden. Okay, burdens are being there's a removal of a burden now. So this cheating that they were doing, this situation was kept under wraps for a little bit here. Okay, and this individual thought that, okay, now that I'm going to come clean with this. Okay, and it looks like they agreed to kind of become clean with it because they were kind of caught. Okay, so there was really not a whole lot of wiggle room really there. So they got this burden off their chest, and they thought, okay, now that I gotten this off my chest, things are going to be smoother. Things are going to be more transparent. We can start from a place of a good place at this point. Possibly even some sort of marriage, a long-term commitment was even discussed. Okay, so everything, this was something that didn't happen not too long ago here. Within the past couple of months, the situation went down like this. And so, again, there was arguments and disputes because, and the person felt like their hands were tied behind their back because they came clean about their sneaky behavior. So there was a removal of a burden here. And this was supposed to lead to long-term commitment, a starting over, if you will, long-term commitment, possible marriage. Let's talk. That's talk about things from coming from a good place now. But it didn't work out that way. And they feel like they've been stabbed in the back. They feel like they've been betrayed because they did come clean with all of the behavior that they were engaged in, and they thought that coming clean about it would lead to a good place, you know. And at the time, as is often happens with these things, at the moment that everything you had this cleansing moment. This is what often happens. You have this cleansing moment, and everything's okay. And then it begins to kind of fester, begins to kind of lay there. And then the other party will be thinking like, so let me get this straight. The whole time I was being faithful and committed to you, you were doing this, you were doing that, and you were lying to me, and you were being deceptive. And so when everything comes to the surface, there's this bubbling over effect. Believe me, I've been there. And you think everything is okay because you finally have come clean. And you feel like a relief because you're starting from a good place. But what you don't anticipate is how it's going to affect the other person. The other person, they may not be affected right away. And that's what happened with this situation. This person was not affected right away. It was kind of a situation where, as though the damage, it was said, and in the moment that it was said, it was like, okay, cool, everything was cool. But then there's this ripple effect, and then there's like this consecutive, you know, waves that keep coming of anger and regression. So you feel as, you know, that other individual feels as though, well, I've come clean, and you're like, yeah, well, now that I think about it, no. And now there's a sense of anger, and you're kind of beginning to kind of pull away from the situation. And this individual that this is happening with is a Knight of Cups individual. So this is a water sign individual, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Okay, that this happened. This is a water sign individual. This is a water sign individual, you know, is a person that considers himself to be a pretty good-looking individual, a pretty good catch, okay? And from their perspective, they thought that, hey, you know, there was going to be this restart, this rebirth, this new hope, this new opportunity, okay? That they were going to finally have their recognized victory, okay? That there was going to, again, and they were totally willing at this point to have this show of affection, you know, holding the hands in public, and you know, and the cuddling and the reassuring that should have happened before. Now they're willing to do now, because, and they thought that this was all going to be this when everything came to the surface. This is what was going to happen. What they didn't intend on is that over the period of time, this situation has really has sunk in at this point. And so there's going to be this period of time where there's going to be a little bit of animosity, a little bit of resentment, and this is going to lead to some problems along the way with this, and hopefully you'll be able to work past this. But it looks like it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit here. And finally, we have the Knight of Pentacles card, which means that this other individual was feeling that they have this recognized victory. You know, they were feeling like, you know, hey, you know, they were comfortable in their own skin. So in other words, they were proud of the fact that, you know, that they were able to purge themselves of this and so forth. You know, and they were feeling like, hey, you know, I'm comfortable on my skin. I got my pentacles together. Things are going to work out right. But this is one of them type of things where it's unintended consequences here. You know, they thought by coming clean that it was going to be this sense of, well, thank you so much for finally being honest with me. Okay, well, you know, is a bit presumptuous on their part to think this, but again, like I said before, there's this ripple effect, and this caused this cascading effect throughout the relationship. So, you know, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make it back from this. I don't know. So that being said, let's see what kind of strengths are my Sagittarius dealing with? What kind of strengths are my Sagittarius dealing with this week? What kind of strengths are my Sagittarius dealing with during the week of January 20th to the 25th? What kind of strengths are you dealing with? What kind of strengths are you dealing with? Wow. Like I said, unintended consequences. So, 5 of Cups. Again, these are all your strengths. And this thing is going to directly tie in. So stay with me here. This is going to directly correlate with this. Okay? So, first off, we have an individual here that, again, these are your strengths. So all of these bad things you've inoculated yourself against, because like I said, this thing has been marinating a bit. Once the truth was revealed, there was this shock. Then you were going through all the stages. Now it's like this angry stage here, and now it's like, you know, so that you're going through the stages here. So there's a sense of 5 of Cups, crying over spilled milk. So, you know, you were extraordinarily hurt over the confirmation that there was actually something that was going on. So you were crying over spilled milk. You were hurt. But guess what? At this point, you kind of all cried out. You all cried out, okay? So again, you've inoculated yourself against that. You've done with the tears with this particular situation. Also, we got the Page of Pentacles here. Okay, so you are you're very careful with what you say to this individual in communicating your feelings, because you're trying to be calm about it. You're hurting, but you're trying to be calm, and you're trying to articulate yourself. So you're choosing your words very, very carefully, okay? Because it's the sense that you have, like, if I say what I really feel, then things gonna get real fast. So let me choose my words very carefully. Emotionally shook you. 9 of Swords. Emotionally shook you. Hurt you to the core. To the core of your being, you got hurt. Okay? And so it was caused you a bit of anxiety, if you will. You know, dealing with it, you know, how could this individual do this to me? So all those emotions that you were going through, the feeling of being betrayed, of being deceived, it even came at a point where you have the Hermit card here. Okay, so this self-reflecting that you did, you know, this wondering, well, was it me? Am I the reason why this person cheated? Was I not good enough? So all of those emotions that come along with that. Okay, you've done the soul searching, you've done the self-reflecting, you've done those things that you needed to do to heal, to kind of get you through this situation. You're still going through it, but you're in the process. You're at like the midway point. You're not at the beginning anymore. You're not at the end. You're kind of like at the midpoint here. So a lot of reflection and contemplating has gone into the situation, because you're examining you were and you still are kind of examining, you know, your own self-worth, if you will. Looking at maybe there were some things that you should have picked up on, or telltale signs, or you're kind of thinking back. So you're kind of going through the process of the self-examination, doing the self-healing, if you will, because there's the Moon card here. Because of the deception that you witnessed, okay? That you were party to. So you're thinking to yourself, how could I, again, that's what comes along with this. You doubt yourself. You think, you wonder if you're the reason why. All of these things that come along with this. But the good news here is, King of Swords, you have you're extraordinarily strong when it comes to having this sense of mental groundedness. And that's why you're choosing your words carefully, because you're a very emotionally strong individual here. Okay, you're a very emotionally strong individual here. And you make very wise decisions when it comes to making a hard decision. So you're emotionally grounded. You're just kind of going through all of the stages of the sense of grief, of the gut shot. Okay? But because you're emotionally strong, you're not going to lose it. You're not just going to fly off the handle and lose it or whatever. That's why you're very focused. You're doing self-examination. You're choosing your words very carefully when you are having contact with this individual. You're very deliberately choosing your words carefully. Got the Devil card here. Again, and these are all your strengths, okay? So you recognize this was a toxic relationship here. This was a toxic situation here, okay, that you went through. And you realize that, okay? So again, all your strengths, all your strengths, you've been through these toxic things, a toxic relationship. Again, you also, you got the higher ground, because here, and again, it's always been there, because you're very rational, you're very mentally strong. But it's like, you know what? I'm not the person that did this. This individual did it. You're just kind of going through the natural progression and the stages of being betrayed, the sense of grief, the sense of loss, if you will, the sense of betrayal, the sense of loss. Like, how could they? All right? But here with the Seven of Wands, you're the person that's in the right. And the reason I said that I don't believe that this relationship is going to be able to survive this, we got the Death card here. And that represents endings and new beginnings. So I do not feel and I do not see as if you're going to be able to, this relationship is going to be able to survive this betrayal. Even though the individual came clean about what was going on. And they thought in their mind you were going to be able to, work through this. Well, now that I'm being honest and upfront, well, now we can be honest with each other. Well, that's good for them. That's not necessarily good for you. It's good that you know the truth, of which you always suspected, but now it's the person, I guess, felt as though they were just coming clean. But again, unintended consequences, and this is one of those. Okay, so it looks like you're looking to end this. Endings and new beginnings, okay? So it doesn't look as if this relationship's going to survive. So let's see what types of things from your past possibly affect the outcome of this situation. What types of things from your past possibly affect the outcome of this situation? What type of things from your past will possibly affect the outcome of the situation? 7 cards I need to see, 2 cards that I need to see. So, in the past, 5 of Swords. You would fight for it. You would probably most likely stay for it. This particular time, the 5 of Swords represents if you're going to fight, if you're going to walk away. In the past, most likely, you would have tried to fight to keep it together. It does not appear as though that's going to happen this time. Okay, in the past, you would have fought for it, but not this particular time around. In addition, we have the 3 of Pentacles here. And so you would have even still been willing to kind of like, again, work with this person. Especially if this type of relationship situation took place at the workplace, you would still, be willing to work with them in a job setting, and then quite possibly old feelings would emerge and you're working together and one thing will lead to the other. This particular time, it seems like you want a clean break. Like it's going to be a clean a very clean break here. There's not going to be any going back with the situation. And finally here we have the Four of Swords. And again, that is, we have the Hermit here, the Hermit card as well. So in the past, you did a lot of contemplating and reflecting on the whole, okay? Not this particular time, and kind of thinking about, well, you would put more emphasis on the fact that it was the overall environment that was probably responsible for what happened. This particular time, you're like, no, it was you. It was you. You're the one. You're responsible for why this thing disintegrated the way that it did. And you're holding that individual accountable. So that's what's going on here. So finally here, let's see what additional information Spirit wants to give before I shut this thing down. What additional information does Spirit want to give before I shut this thing down? What additional information Spirit want to give before I shut this thing down? What additional information do you need? Okay. So, perspective. Make sure you're putting things in perspective here. This is not the end of the world. Okay? This is a blow. This is a hard blow. It's a gut shot. Make no mistake, it's a gut shot. But this too shall soon pass. Okay? Put it in perspective. That which does not kill you makes you stronger. Okay? So put it in perspective. It's a gut shot, but it's not the end. Okay? So you'll learn from this. Take from this what you can, what you need to heal, and move on. Also, continue to be productive. Productivity. Continue to be productive in your own life. Okay? Continue to do all of those things that you do to keep in other words, keep your life moving forward. Don't let this keep you back, keep you down, keep you bring you to a place of a dark place where you're just kind of stuck, because that's what often happens. You kind of feel like you're stuck. Continue to be productive. Continue to do what you need to do. Also, discernment. Okay? Keep it to yourself. Be discreet about it. Keep it to yourself. There's no reason, everything that happened here, there's no real reason to, talk to this individual about it, talk to that individual about it. Sometimes in these particular things, that can be a helpful thing. But in this particular case, talking about it to others, especially when you know what the situation is, you're giving energy to that thing. You're giving energy to it. Keep it to yourself and keep moving, because when a person tells you who they are, you believe them the first time. And this person has showed you who they are. And I have I'm getting the impression here from these cards that this has been going on for a while. You've been suspecting this type of thing has been happening for a while. So, you already know what this individual is about. So do you. Move on from it. You've got from it what you need. Move on to something better. Okay? With that being said, I'm going to shut this thing down now. If you haven't already, please like, please share, please subscribe. This is a general love reading. If it did not resonate with you, that is fine. If you want to know a little something about your particular situation, feel free to get a personal reading. I'll leave the link down below if this did resonate with you. And you want to know a little bit more, again, the link's below. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.